The city of Shreveport is not safe. The FBI says Shreveport has the highest crime rate per capita in the country. There are nearly 19,000 outstanding city warrants. And while officer bike and pony shows are good for PR, they don't put criminals where they belong. Just a few days ago, a 16-year-old boy was killed right off this road. It's time for our police force to stop being used as political propaganda and be allowed to do their jobs, putting criminals behind bars and make our city safe for our children. So today, I'm introducing my crime plan and where we're going to start to make our city safer. Number one, we will create a proactive police department. As mayor, I will be tough on crime, demand that criminals be arrested, and instruct the officers of this city to do what is necessary to enforce the laws. Officers will be held accountable and responsible, but I expect them to do their jobs and to pick up criminals that break any law. Police officers cannot be afraid to do their jobs, and as your next mayor, I will stand behind officers doing what is necessary to protect this city. A proactive police department will cut down on fire department runs and EMS runs, saving the taxpayer money in gas, tires, and equipment usage. An AK-47 spray in a driveway hitting someone sleeping in their bed is not acceptable and will not be acceptable under my leadership. We need officers in every neighborhood throughout the day. And when I am mayor, I promise the citizens of this city that they will see and feel police presence. They will feel safe. Strong leadership equals a strong police force. And under my administration, cops will return to being law enforcement officers and not public relations officers. Number two, strong, qualified leaders will be at the helm of the police department. I'm going to change the management philosophy of the police department. I will make sure that from day one, the Shreveport Chief of Police has a definitive plan and direction, and that every officer understands that their sole responsibility is to arrest criminals with no exceptions. The police department management team under my administration will be made up of men and women that understand that I expect them to be law enforcement officers. We will not cater to criminals. We will lock them up. We will operate under the philosophy that we respect and enforce the laws of this city, of this state, and this country at all times. Number three, we need better equipment and to spend taxpayer dollars better. There are not enough police car units in the police department as of today. Vehicles are getting old. To ensure we have the resources for the cars we need, we can bring down the cost for each unit, allowing for the purchase of more vehicles not being planned by the current administration. Taxpayer dollars are not being used wisely. We can and will do better. Number four, we will pay our police officers what they deserve. Police officers should not be paid for what they do. They should be paid for what they are willing to do. These men and women do above average work and face above average crime. They deserve at the least average pay. Our officers are paid almost $5,000 less than the southern average and almost $15,000 below the national average. I proposed a pay raise for our officers as a city councilman, and it was approved by the council, but the current administration vetoed my bill. I'm going to streamline this city's budget, and one of my first orders of business will be to see to it that a police pay raise is passed, and I will be proud to sign that bill into law. Making sure our police officers are paid what they deserve is crucial to make this city safer, and more importantly, it is the right thing to do, period. When I am mayor of Shreveport, the criminals in this city will know that if they break the law, they are going to jail. And the police officers of Shreveport will know that their mayor will back them up. Addressing crime from a proactive perspective, choosing management that understands that there are law enforcement officers, making sure that those officers have necessary and updated equipment, and paying our police officers what they deserve are the four key starting points of how we are going to secure our city's future. Thank you. this time, we will allow someone from the family to speak if they would like.
We have two families here that their families have been victims of crime in this area. And we have three. And each one of them will come forward and just give you a brief on what happened and why it's so important to have police officers that are willing to come in the community and work with the people.
My name is Kathleen Bell, and I'm here to speak for Samuel Roosevelt Anderson. And all of you have seen him on the news. And I want you to know that he was more than a statistic. He was more than some little black kid that was in trouble with MLK and just happened to get himself killed. All of our children get in trouble, but nobody deserves to get shot down like an animal. His interment, he's found arrested from the Saturday at 1 o'clock at 1500 Grigsby. I would appreciate it if all of MLK, the parents, that's who I'm appealing to. If you don't want to be in this place, I don't wish this on you. Help us try and get together in MLK and stop some of this violence. The last thing we need is to have a funeral to be a reason why we try to do something. And unfortunately, this family, I know of for a fact, has already tried to do something before via emails, via phone calls, only to the avail of Whitehorn putting the next day, our very own Calvin Lester telling us to just not worry about it. We've got to have more than that. And so we don't have to find ourselves grouping up at a funeral trying to do more than that. Thank you.
My name is Regina Knight, and I am a family member of Marcus Knight, which was killed about 4 years ago on August the 12th. It'll be 4 years coming up. And I can truly say it's really hurting when you go to the policemen and you tell them, you know, that you know who done it, and they can actually repeat back to you that they know who killed your family member, yet and still they didn't do anything about it. So as of 4 years today, they still don't have anybody charged for my cousin's murder. And it's a hurt and it's a sickening thing that it has to come here. When the people drive down your street and they tell you, yes, we killed him, and you go to them and you let them know that they say, okay, they telling us that they actually did it, but yet they say, they can say anything, but that doesn't give us a reasonable doubt. My aunt is very hurt. Unfortunately, she could not be here on today, so I stepped in on her behalf. But as a people in the Martin Luther King neighborhood, we need to step up and we need to come together because it is too much going on in our neighborhood. And we will appreciate Mr. Wooley for the more support of police officers, some that's going to actually come out and do their job and not just take it for granted just to get a paycheck. Thank you.
We want to thank y'all for coming out. Thank you.